Hello, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Ndifon Ntui, and on this channel I make sewing tutorials. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, so if you're into that sort of thing, please make sure to check back on those days for new content. In this video I'll be showing you how to make a nice bikini dress. You've seen it already in the bureau segment that came before the intro I'm giving now. On Monday the 7th of December 2020, I'll be starting a 2-week class. The timetable, you can see the timetable on the screen right now. The class costs only 1,500 naira, so if you're interested, please send a WhatsApp message to this number saying that, specifically say the words that I'm telling you to say now if you want this class, so that I will know what you want once you send the message. All right, say I am here for the 2 weeks class. It will help me know how to better give you an answer. Okay, so if you like the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to like the video if you like the video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye bye. All right, so you're welcome to this video. If you click on this video, I'm guessing that you're interested in bikinis. I would also recommend that you see my video on how to draft a bikini. It's not like the video is connected to this. I'm just plugging, shameless plug. Anyway, now to begin, you can see on the table here I have the fabric I intend to use. Now the next thing you have to do is I want you to measure out the length of the bikini, that you're making. You've seen it, it's a bikini, but it comes all the way down like a dress. Okay, so first thing I want you to do is I want you to measure out the length of the bikini. Okay, so you can see I have a long piece of fabric here. This is like 5 yards, so I'm going to come to the very beginning. The length of the bikini that I'm making is 60 inches. Okay, so 60 inches, I'm going to add 2 inches to that number, so I'm going to cut this one at 62. So I'll come from the beginning here and I'll measure out 62. Look at this, my tip from the very beginning. This is like the edge of the fabric. Okay, then I'm going to measure from here. Okay, so the tape stops at 60, but I know where 2 inches is. This 1 inch, this is around where 2 inches, 62 is supposed to land. So I'm going to make a notch here, and then I'm going to rip. Now, in case you're using a fabric that does not rip as easy as the one I'm using, please don't do that, or else you run into a great deal of trouble, because it's just going to go to one side. But if you're using a cotton-based fabric like the one I'm using, then that's going to work just fine. Now, I'm working with a bust of 36 inches. All right. Well, if you're working with a bust of between 36 to 40 inches, use 20. Okay, so if your bust is sitting between 36 and 40 inches, I want you to measure 20, okay, and cut all the way down. But if you are dealing with a bust that's around from 32 up to 35, then if you have a bust that falls between 32 and 35, you can use around 16 inches. If you have a bust that sits from 41 up to 45, 46, you can use 24 inches. Okay, but for anything above that, I'll just jump straight to 30 inches. Okay, but for a person that has a bust size of between 36 and 40, I'm going to use 20 right now. Okay, so 20, I need you to tear it all the way down. Once again, disclaimer, if your fabric is not cotton based, don't do that, or else it's not going to read properly. Now I need you to measure to cut it 2 times. Okay, so I'm measuring another 20 inches. And then I'm going to rip. Okay, all right, so now that I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my sewing machine. Okay, now you see this area that I have here, you see this part I have here, this part here. I'm going to head over to my sewing machine and I'm going to join it like so. Okay, so now I'm going to place the front. You see this is the front of this fabric, you can tell from the vibrance, and this is the front of this part here. So I'll place this one on top of the other, front facing front, and I'm going to run a line from here, half an inch, all the way down here. So I'm going to just simply join this from here to here, and I'll be back. Before I go, just a reminder, the length from here to the end here is the length of the bikini dress that I'm making. Okay, that's the length plus 2 inches. So the length was 60, the length down all the way from top to bottom, from top all the way down is 62. So like I said, I'll join it up here. I'll be back. Okay, so you can see that I've joined. I hope you can see it. Let me zoom in so that you guys can see clearly. Okay, so if you look up here, you will see that I have a line running from here all the way down. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is this top edge that I have that's rough. Okay, I'm going to use my overlocker and finish the top part here. So if you have an overlocker, this is the time that you need to weave up here. Okay, so I'm going to use my overlocker and finish the rough edge there. Okay, so you can see that here I've finished the joining. I hope you can see where the line, look at that, you can see where the thread was, the yellow thread, and then you can see that here has been finished with an overlocker. Now the next thing I want you to do is I want you to come to the beginning. So you see this, remember we had two pieces that are 62 inches long. Now I want you to come to the end of one side. Okay, so I need you to come from, look at this, this is where the joining is. You can tell from the difference in the print. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to come from the very beginning here. Okay, and I need you to hem it. Okay, so from here I need you to bend half. Okay, and then we're going to run that from the bottom all the way across where we have just woven and all the way down to the opposite side. Okay, so now I'm going to hem both sides. So I'm going to run that from the other part all the way down to here, and I'm also going to do the same thing over here at this point. So I'm going to go and also hem from here all the way across to this point there, and after that I would hem the bottom part. So just basically hem the rectangle that you have. Okay, so let me go and hem everything and I'll be back. Okay, so what you can see here is the piece that I had. So you can tell that this is where the joining was. Okay, so you can see this is where I joined the very first stitch we made, and you can see this, the edges now have been hemmed. Okay, so let me zoom in closely so that you can see. Okay, so you can see this, I have hemmed here neatly all the way down to the end. Okay, so and I've done that all the way down to the end that I have here. You can also see that the bottom that I have here, the part that was 20 inches wide, has also been hemmed as well. Okay, now you also need the person's under bust measurements, because we're going to make a drawstring at the person's under bust that will drag all of this together and form the drape around her bust. Okay, so you see this from the joining that we have here. You see this from that joining that we have here, we're going to come to the under bust length. Okay, so from the joining, the under bust length is 14. The joining is going to sit at the back of her neck. Okay, so we're going to come from here, we're going to come to 14 inches and you're going to make a mark. So this joining is sitting at the back, we're going to come to 14 and we're going to draw a line. So you see that, draw a line across 14. Okay, and then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So we're still going to come from the joining. Okay, that's the very first stitch we made, and we're going to draw a line at 14 inches. Okay, okay, so you see that, so we've drawn a line from the joining that we have here, okay, to this line is 14. The same thing here, from this joining here to the line that we have here is 14 inches as well. Okay, so now the next thing after we have finished marking where the underbust is to cut this panel that we have here. Now this piece here, what you need to do is that you need it to be 3 inches wide. So from here to here is 3 inches, and the 3 inches is constant all the way down. And then the next thing you are going to do is you're going to also measure here as well, and you're going to make sure that this here is 20 inches long. Okay, so we're going to come and measure 20. Once you get to 20 inches from the top here, by the time you get to 20 inches, you're going to need to make a cut. Okay, so now this is the first 20. Let me check. Okay, so this cut here, you make sure you split it in half, and then we're going to measure the second 20. So I'm using the first one now as a guide to cut the second one. Okay, so you see this is 3 inches by 20. Okay, and then we're going to measure it to see. Okay, so this is 3 inches everywhere. Now what I want you to do is I want you to simply iron it. So you see this, we're going to iron here flat. So I'm simply folding ½ inch at the top of the 3 inches. Okay. Okay, so you're welcome to the sewing machine. This is the first no, this is the last part that you guys saw, where I ironed ½ inch at the top and at the bottom of this part that I call 3 by 20 before I ironed and folded ½ inch on both sides. Now what I want you to do is I want you to hem both sides. So we're going to hem here by ½ inch, and we're going to hem here also by ½ inch. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now. So half. So now when you're done with that, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to bring this long piece. So remember this piece that we had here. Okay, so remember this piece. Now you can see where we have the chalk line. I hope you can see this part here. Now from the joining, okay, from where we have the joining at this part here, you can see this. You can see the joining that we have here. From here, okay, to this point right here is the 14 inches, the under bust length. So what I want you to do now is, after you've hemmed this piece, you place the top part. Okay, you see this is the top part, this is the bottom part. Anywhere I turn it, it can still be top and bottom part, so don't allow that to confuse you, but just make sure that you are sitting from below the line, not above. Now above would be that you are sitting close to this joining here, so make sure that you are sitting on the other side of the line. So if this is where your joining is, make sure that when you place it, you are placing it from the bottom of that line. Okay, everything else is facing the bottom of that line, and then I'm going to simply join this, stitch this on top of the other from here all the way down. I'm trying to stitch as close to the edge as possible. Now you see this piece here, you are going to need the person's under bust round. Okay, now this is the distance around the person's body immediately under the bust. Okay, so what you are going to do is, if that number is 30, you will add 20 inch extra to it. So that means if the person has an under bust length of 30, the length of this here, of this rope I have here, should be 50. If the person's under bust length is 28, this one here should be 48 inches long. So 28 plus extra 20 is 48. If the person's under bust round, sorry, not length, if the distance around the person's under bust round, okay, the person's under bust here is 30, this should be 50. If it is 35, this should be 55. So add 20 inches to whatever number that you are working with. At least it can be more if you want the rope to be longer, but at least 20 inches extra to whatever the person's under bust round is. Okay, and when you've done that, you see this here, we're going to come to the tip, fold ½ inch. Okay, then we're going to fold another ½ inch, fold another ½ inch, and then we'll bend it into 2 complete halves. You see that right there. Okay, and then I'm going to simply hem from the beginning all the way down, and I'm going to continuously bend the fold it as I go along. Now that that is done, the next thing is to install this rope. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this. Okay, I'm going to come from the back here, you see this, and I'm going to simply just push my rope through the 2 inches. So you see this here, this is the 2 inch hole that I had. I'm going to simply put this rope that I have here through the 2 inches. I was trying to use my hand to force it through, but that would be a bit difficult, so I'm going to use the safety pin to simply just push it through that 2 inch tunnel. So you see this here, this is the 2 inch tunnel that I had. I'm going to push it right through here. Okay, so you see that, and then immediately you are out of here, you're going to continue entering into the next place. So you see this place here, that's, I've already done whatever I did to under this part of the under bust round. I've done the same thing on this side as well. So we also have another 2 inch wide tunnel here too, so I'm going to keep passing it through. All right. that is it basically. Okay, so that is how this is done. I think I'll show you guys on the mannequin how you wear this, but I think you pretty much get the idea. Okay, so you've seen what we have here, and then we have a piece here that looks like whatever. So now you see this part here, when you loop it, when you pass it through the two places, through the tunnel here and here, you will see that there's going to be a hole. There's going to be a hole here, and then the back is going to have a part that's like this. So what I want you to do is this. I want you to take this here, simply wear it like this. Okay, so you see that as I'm putting it, look at how the back is. Okay, you're going to simply, when you bring it in, you would lay it over your back, and then you would have the rope running through the back like this. Okay, and then at the front here, what you would now do is you move all the fabric over your bust. You see that? And cover your bust. Move all the fabric over your bust from the side. Sorry. Okay, move all the fabric out from the side and cover your bust. And when you do that, you guys know what to do next. It's just to simply tie the rope here in front securely as you okay, so after tying it securely in front, okay, so you have something like this running all the way down, and at the back you would have all of this gorgeous flesh is showing. So you see that that's how this looks. Nice and easy, very easy tutorial, very easy to follow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.